Okay. No
Yes?
recording. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you, Diego. Okay. Welcome to your evidence one activity. This is a roundtable activity. We have done this before, so you are familiarized with the structure. Right now, you will have your moderator is Dana Pastillas, your topic online education versus face-to-face education. You will have 20 minutes. It's 11:32. That means that at 11:52, you should start your activity, okay? The structure, have everything in order, and everything has to be done in English, not in Spanish, and is recorded. I'm going to be going in and out of the different rooms just to supervise, but I'm going to be evaluating and grading your activity according to your video, okay? So make sure that you do not stop recording and that you do not close your cameras. Again, when the activity is done, I want you please to go back to the main session. Why? Because we need to talk about the details of evidence too. So you finish your activity, stop the recording, Diego, after that, and then you go back to the main session. Is it okay? Do we have any other questions I can help you with? Ana Lucia.
Last time you said we have to answer 3 questions per people, like we have to talk 3 times. This time, I don't know if it's the same or just the 4 minutes.
The moderator is going to be deciding the timing. You have 30 minutes for your roundtable. Moderator will decide. You have to participate 3 times the most. Okay, so moderator is going to be deciding if it's 1 minute or 2 or if it is if you're going to be using the 3 minutes, but the moderator is going to be using that. Dana is the timekeeper, is the leader of the activity. Okay?
Yes, thank you. I have another question.
Yes?
If I have some research of some analysis that were made, can I read that part that it's like
yes.
Percentages? Okay, thank you.
If you have percentages or data that you might want to share, you can read it without a problem. Yeah? I will be grading the videos after class. So make sure that you have everything to show me here, okay? So, good luck.
I don't know if you would like to start structuring this thing, like the round table. I don't know if you want to start giving structure to it in the document. So we can like read it, without having problem and losing time on deciding who's going to talk.
Yes, I wanted to know if we will divide the questions, like who's gonna answer which questions, for us not to be like, to be more organized. I would like to answer question 2 and 3, maybe.
I would like to answer 3 and 4.
Well, I would like to answer 1 and 4. I think we can start writing that down in the document. I'm gonna present, like share screen right now.
Yes.
So the first thing we need to do is like an introduction, the moderator, right?
I would like to suggest that in question 5, there are too many people to respond answering to that question. And in question number 2 are 2 people only, so maybe one can change, so it could be more balanced.
Yeah, I could change to number 2.
How many questions do we have to answer each one of us?
I
Three
think
the
that
most.
around 2.
Yeah, around 2 is fine.
Yeah, the teacher told us that 3, we have to participate 3 times, but evaluating the time and we are a lot of people, and the questions that we have seen the document that the answers are very long. So I think we would answer 2, and if depending on what time do we have, we can share another question and answering more.
Okay, thanks.
I want to suggest it's if someone from the against team could answer question number 1, because we are only 2 in favor and 1 against.
I think Geraldine could, yes, answer that, yes. Mhm.
Okay, awesome. So do you want to do it first people in favor and then people against, or mixed? How do you want to do it?
Maybe mixed,
Yeah,
like in the other questions.
yeah, that way we can counter with what the people have said.
Does the moderator needs to have a conclusion, or do we need to have one? The moderator?
Yes. But I don't know if she wants to do it like after we give all the arguments or like have one prepared beforehand.
I think you can use the argument that you already know. They are like write down during the document, so you could get to a conclusion right now, or whatever you want. Is there any problem if we start the round table before 11:52?
I don't know. But we can ask the teacher.
Yes, or I think that could be evaluated by the moderator.
Okay, so we are going to start at 52, right?
Whenever you want. Me personally, I'm ready.
I'm ready to.
Okay. Or We give some time. Before we start, I have a question. Even though we are going to use like raise the hand just like to be more organized. Yes.
I think we can use like the structure we write down in the document. So you can like give us a word, but if you want us to raise hand, I think there's no call.
Okay, so we start. Welcome to our roundtable discussion on the topic online versus face education. Well, research by the National Center for Biotechnology Information 2023 showed that online learning can supplement face-to-face education, but it does not necessarily a transition. However, it is important to explore both perspectives, the advantage and disadvantage. Today, the panelists will share their point of view on whether online education will replace education or not. The panelists in favor are Diego Rubio, Diego Chavez, Hazel Flores, and those against are Ana Elena Perales, Dan Aragon, and Geraldine Salazar. Thank you everyone for being here today. Let's get started. The first question: how do the benefits of online education compare to face-to-face learning in terms of effectiveness, flexibility, and convenience? Yes, Diego, you can go ahead.
Okay, well, in my opinion, there are some benefits. There are some benefits is that the money you will need to invest is less than what you will need for school. The cost of books and materials is insignificant since you can download them directly to your computer, where flexibility allows students to adapt study time to their lifestyles. But on the contrary, managing time can pose difficulties when being in person, where online learnings promote independence and improves interaction. Additionally, online education provides unparalleled convenience, eliminating the need for travel. This helps to eliminate geographic limitations and provides educational opportunities for people facing these kind of problems. In short, online education offers comparable efficiency, flexibility, and better convenience, making it the preferred option for many students over traditional classroom.
Thank you, Diego.
Well, in traditional classrooms, they provide immediate interaction between students and teachers, and questions can be answered in real time, fostering a dynamic learning environment by learning facilities, group discussions, collaborations, and the development of social skills through direct interaction with the peers and the teachers. Also, face-to-face learning involves schedules in-person interactions, maybe not be that flexible as online, but it will help to the students that have that they have like this importance in maintaining a sense of routine and engagement.
Thank you, Geraldine, for your words. You can go ahead, Axel.
Thank you, Dana. Well, I want to say that online education has been found to perform better in terms of cognitive outcomes with a small to moderate effect size. Talking about flexibility, online learning offers the advantage of being able to work at one's own pace with the material, meaning it requires you to be an active participant. And in the other hand, in terms of convenience, online learning is more convenient as it allows students to learn from anywhere, anytime, and at their own pace.
Thank you, Axel. Please go ahead, Anna.
Yes. Although I agree that flexibility is a beneficial fact about online education, actually, a study made by the U.S. Department of Education indicated that the cognitive results for the people that were with online education compared poorly with those who had education face-to-face and interactions with teachers and peers due to the immediate feedback in this case. However, it depends on how complex the subject is and the educational preferences of every student.
Thank you, everyone, for your responses. Now we go to the second question. Institutes and behaviors differ between online and face-to-face learning, and how can this impact outcomes? Please go ahead, Ana Lucia.
Thank you. Here's a study made by 6 different professors on different universities that are specified in the Department of Psychiatry. After they made a study after the year and a half of pandemic-related social restrictions, and the major depressive syndromes were reported by 40% of the respondents to the PHQ, which is an exam to evaluate the symptoms and well-being of the students. 9 months later, this exam was made for 2,318 university students, and 72% of them showed a several reduced well-being index. 9 months later, after the end of the social restrictions, they did the same test again, showing the major depression symptoms were reported by 28%, and the well-being improved in being in a 50%. These studies show that the online classes caused by the pandemic were consequences of very depression and anxious people, and these students that have mental health challenges may find it difficult to concentrate, complete assignments, or engage activity in learning process.
Thank you, Ana Lucia, for the point of view. The word is your, Axel.
Thanks, Dana. Well, according to a study conducted from the University of Timisoara, the majority of students felt more comfortable asking and answering questions in online classes, suggesting that there might be features of learning online to which students are receptive, right? Now, the impact of these differences on learning outcomes and satisfaction is complex and depends on various factors such as the individual's learning style, preferences, and circumstances. However, it is important to note that both online education and face-to-face learning have their own strengths and weaknesses, and the choice between the two depends on the individual's needs and goals.
Thank you, Axel. You can go ahead, Geraldine.
Well, in a face-to-face setting, students are physically present in the classroom, which can foster a greater sense of engagement. Online learning may lack the social dynamic of a traditional classroom, potentially leading to feelings of isolation and the lack of development of important soft skills such as communication, teamwork, and interpersonal skills, and decreased sense of community among the students. So online learning demands a higher level of self-discipline, as students need to manage their own schedules and stay motivated without the structure of physical classrooms. And some students may struggle with this management and find it difficult to maintain the same level of focus and engagement in the class.
Thank you very much. Share your thoughts.
So maybe online classes can be more difficult to pay attention and to be attentive for students, but it also the responsibility of the teacher to make interactive their classes. While making it very difficult the concentration of the students in their classes, a teacher that adapt its classes to a online structure and a very interactive way, it can lead to the main students be more entertained by and to pay more attention and keep their learning in the topics more time that in face-to-face, because they have to research that information and keep it in their heads.
Thank you everyone for online education. Now we have the third question. What are the long-term implications of the shift to online education? Will it represent a positive or negative impact? Go ahead, Hazel.
Okay, online education requires a regular use of technological tools and online platforms. For example, an online accounting course where students not only learn theoretical concepts, but also work in practical projects. In today's society, technological skills are increasingly important in the workplace. In Mexico, alone 48% of organizations are accelerating the digitalization according to the report prepared by expertise. Therefore, online education can contribute positively in the development of technological skills, preparing students from the digitalized world of work. Also, online education allows students to access to educational resources and experts from all around the world. During the pandemic, online courses grew 900% according to a study by University of Navarra. And exposure to global perspectives enriches and understanding the educational experience. For example, an online course where students from all over the world share their experience from point of view and provides an expanded perspective. Thus, the switch from online education can have a positive impact by providing students to access with a wider and variety of knowledge and perspectives.
Thank you for sharing your perspective. You can go ahead, Ana Lucia.
I agree. Online education can break down geographical barriers, providing access to education for individuals who might otherwise be unable to attend to traditional face-to-face courses. Although, on the other hand, is not very equality. There is no a lot of equality in the access of the necessary technology and reliable internet connections around the world. This can create disparities in education opportunities and aggravate the existing inequalities. This can be a discomfort feeling for the persons that have no access to it and want to learn more. There was a report about how a secondary school in Limón de la Luna, Mexico, led with the pandemic and and how did they continue with their learnings all through the pandemic and the restriction of being at home. This mentions that on several occasions there were delays in the return of assignments related to the lack of balance for the use of data on their cell phones. Not all the students had home internet, and in the best of those cases, they shared with the neighbors. But these percentages of the students that submitted the assignments are 20% of the students submitted between 80 and 85% of the assignments, and the rest submitted 30 to 60% of the task. So I think that it creates a disadvantages for those in need of technological advantage, and it is difficult to move to 100% online education when not all the people have access to it.
Thank you, Ana Lucia, for those.
Okay, so it is valid all those points said before, but in a context, we have to make a process in which we could make we can move from face-to-face classes to online classes. Our research made by the University of Illinois Springfield found that online learning provides unprecedented opportunities for people who would otherwise have limited access to education. It is true that the lack of connection of internet can be a problem, but it could be also opportunity for our society to solve those problems and to help those people with lack of education to have that opportunity and start to live a great education. And for the problems about the lack of, and for some problems of the lack of the homework, we have to make the teacher to adapt to the online classes and make those classes available for the students to be entertained and to learn, and for them to understand that they have to deliver their homeworks and their classes. Well, that's my point.
And Diego, you can contrast now, Dana.
Thank you. Firstly, according to the Margolis Institute of Health Sciences in 2022, there were 6 main problems that were deepened with the online classes. The first of all is the body dysmorphia. A lot of students are experiencing this increase on their body dysmorphia, and mostly because on how they see themselves through the camera. The next one is the privacy concerns. Most of the time they take their classes and turn the camera while they're in their rooms, while they're on their personal spaces. So they feel as if they don't have privacy as before. There's also a mental health deepen in which all the students, and according to this study, have shown signs of stress, of reduction of social interaction, and in general, changes in how they interact with others. There's also, as it was mentioned, disparity in the access of quality education. Not everyone is available to access to internet, to online classes. So this lack of equality makes another problem. And lastly, the reduction of the diversity in the STEM fields is being another problem. Not being able to practice
these terms is affecting in how they're learning their careers. And as Geraldine mentioned a question before, there's a lack of connection in turning on the cameras. According to the survey of Castelli and Cervari, 41% turn off their cameras because of their appearance, that they don't want to show it, and 10% don't turn it on because they feel that that is enough. And as Diego mentioned also in the question before, it's not really just the teacher making the class feel comfortable, but also about the students. And this same survey answered that the 62% don't turn the camera because they feel comfort, and the 59.6% don't turn it on because they have distractions. So not having face-to-face classes in the long term will affect how they learn. It will affect if
Before concluding with that question, now we have the final. In what ways has the COVID-19 pandemic influenced the shift toward online education, and how has it affected students and educators?
Okay. And the COVID-19 pandemic forced temporary closure of schools and universities worldwide. In August 2020, 33 million children and adolescents in Mexico were affected by school closures as a result of the pandemic. In response to the pandemic, many educational institutions quickly adopt online education as a solution to continue teaching. For example, during the pandemic, Tec de Monterrey has forced to be closed to protect the health of students and employees. The university implement online platforms such as virtual classrooms and implement online learning management system to migrate face-to-face courses to a digital format. Teachers receive accelerated training on use of online tools, and technical support system was built to ensure a smooth transition. Thus, the COVID-19 pandemic has a significant boost the education and acceptance of online education among students and educators. Also, during the pandemic, online education offered a flexible and safe solution for continuing education without risking the health of students and educators. I was a freshman in high school, and thanks to online education from home, I was able to continue my studies without risking my health. The experience of online education during the pandemic has led to an increased appreciation of flexibility and health security. Therefore, the pandemic has affected preference of students and educators, generate a greater demand of flexible and secure options, such as online education.
Thank you, Hazel. And now you can contrast, Dana.
Thank you. I agree with Hazel that some careers indeed have improved and have been used these online classes as in favor, but there are also other careers that have been affected. For example, the Historical Black Colleges and Universities, or HBCUs, announced in an article that around 19 articles published between 2020 and 2021 said that there are psychological impacts in a negative way because of online classes and because of the pandemic. The students told in these articles that they think that classes may not be as effective as face-to-face classes, and that even between that time of the pandemic, their anxiety increased. It also says on that review that they perceive the achievement and the perception itself of the classes as negative or not being the same, because especially with pharmaceutical students or medicine, engineering, etc., they need to have practices. And it's not the same to do it in your house without the correct materials and without the
Thursday. But let me get all your classmates here, okay?
Teacher, we don't
Okay.
finish.
You haven't finished, Diego?
No,
Why?
we don't have time.
Okay, did you close the recording already?
No, teacher. Just two
Okay,
more
please.
participation and then we end.
Okay, close the, and I mean, click pause on your recording.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, are you ready, Gravity? Yes. Dana, you can go ahead and end your argument, please.
Thank you. And going through all these challenges, it can be said that the main challenges for these careers or for the different fields will be for the pharmacy, the medicine, and the engineering careers.
Thank you, Dana. You can go ahead, Diego.
Thank you. Oh, I know. Well, the surge in online education brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic has to lead to accelerate adoption, offering better accessibility, reduced costs, and better collaboration for students, allowing participation from anywhere. However, challenges include effects on a student's experience, the need for educators to adapt to new technologies, and concerns related to physical and mental health. Despite these challenges, the pandemic shows some positive aspects on online education, focusing on improving this kind of online education.
Thank you, Diego. And now the word is yours, Dana.
Okay, so I do agree with my colleagues that actually the pandemic in a certain way accelerated the way in which we needed to adapt to new technologies in online education specifically. However, although it helped during the pandemic, I do believe, and it was also proved by a study made by the UNESCO in 2021, that online education led to several challenges, not only for students, but also for educators regarding mental health issues, as Diego mentioned, the unequal access to education, and the need of training for new educators in order to make new educational models that could increase interaction through the classes. But however, the results were not the same as with face-to-face education. Therefore, we should, as we are going to be increasing the new hybrid model, having face-to-face education and online education, we need to continue to develop new educational methods so that in a certain way we can balance this interaction and avoid going through the obstacles that we faced through the pandemic. And that would be my conclusion.
Thank you, Anna, and everyone for all your points of view, perspectives, and arguments. Well, in conclusion, we see that while online education offers several benefits such as flexibility and convenience, it's essential to consider the unique benefits of face-to-face learning, such as instant question clarifications, etc. And we can also can't forget that the pandemic has played a significant role in shaping the future of education. That will be the end of our roundtable discussion. Thank you again for being here today.
Perfect. You can stop the recording now. Okay?